Welcome viewers to another edition of Brave Namibia, where we meet both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. In our first clip today, Precious Ngatanapu caught up with Walvis Bay-born Josè Loch, a history buff who works as a curator at the Omaruru Museum.
I was born at this here town, and I would admit that my circumstance was not that good. You know, we came out very rough, and we were also exposed to a lot of bad things such as the alcohol and the drug abuse that was very prominent back in the days. And my mother took note of this, and then she decided, oh my dear child, let me divert you to a better place. And that is where we migrated to the town of Omaruru. Oh, and that was a blessing. You know, as we approached the town of Omaruru, it was very nice as we encountered people that are very polite. We encountered passionate people. We also saw people full of potential. And as we came in, I started my primary school here, I think grade 6. And I finished it by OPS, Omaruru Primary School. And then I went to S.I. Kopp Secondary School. And that is where I concluded my secondary education. After I was done there was this old gentleman that knew a lot about the town of Omaruru. He introduced me to it, to aspects that I have not yet unraveled. And he said that, my brethren, if you want to know something, open your eyes. If you want to hear something, open your ears. And if you want to say something, you best open your mouth. And that is where I found wisdom in the words he said. And it made me very in love with what we call history, because he was kind of my mentor when it comes to historical subjects or topics. And as I got to know him even better, he introduced me to the Museum of Omaruru. And as I ventured in the walls, I found, or I got that sense of belonging. And once I was here, I decided, no man, let me volunteer and see what I can give towards this community, what I can add to the Museum of Omaruru to make it more cultural, to make it more traditional, to make it more informative, and to attract our visitors, the tourists, and also our residents, so that they can fall in love with the heritage of Omaruru. You know, Omaruru is a wonderful town, especially when it comes to the nature. When you walk alongside the Omaruru River, the fauna and the flora, they contribute to a very welcoming atmosphere. And, you know, this here town has deep roots when it comes to the development of the nation, or let's say Southwest Africa back in the days. And a lot of prominent figures also derive from here. I do not want to mention, but this here town serves as a pillar of Christianity. You know, when the missionaries came around 1868 there, Daniel Clute, Reverend Daniel Clute came here. He was accompanied by his followers, the Berg Tamaras. And that is where Omaruru was founded as a mission station back in the days. And it only served, the purpose of converting the natives towards Christianity. That is where you find a lot of our black brothers and sisters, and also residents converted towards Christianity. And that is what I love about this place. And actually that is what I want to encourage our youth to embark in. You know, I want them to learn about their past. I want them to acknowledge their history, and also venture to see what their heritage has for them, because it's very important to know where you come from, so that you know where you're going. And that is why I love what I'm doing.
Okay, now you did mention off camera that you are part of a male forum, a male group. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that as well?
Oh, yes. I mentioned that I was the chairperson of the NAM Rights Youth Forum. This year is a forum whereby we employ youth that are vulnerable, youth that are poor, or youth that do not have anything to do with their time. We employ them by the garden that we have established. It's a sort of greenhouse whereby we teach them how to till the ground. We teach them what type of seeds you need to purchase or what type of seeds you need to use. We also get them through the manner in which you plant the seeds, how you attend to them, and how you harvest out of what you have sowed. And I feel that this year initiative not only teaches the principles of gardening, but it also teaches you self-dependence. Yes. So the activity that we introduce, the gardening activity, helps the boy child or the girl child to combat the issue that we have, which is food security. You know, a lot of our youth here are struggling to have a meal. A lot of our youth here do not know where to go to find this year meal that they need to accumulate and also share amongst them youth. I also mentioned that I am the deputy chairperson of the male forum Omaruru constituency. Now this is where we just concentrate on the male. We get the boy child, and then we teach the boy child about his values. We teach him, or we tell him his importance in the society, what role he plays, and how he can better input towards his society. We also teach them to work together, to be better parents, because you know it is a two thing when it comes to parenthood. It's not only the lady that has the responsibility, because you know the two went into bed together. And we also want to teach the boy child not to run away from problems and to attend to these problems in a responsible and good manner. That is why actually we started the male forum in the first instance, to educate the boy child.
Okay, now I understand that it is more about educating the male and the boy child.
Just ask, my dear, you're learning.
Life lessons from being part of these initiatives as well. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
The reason why we actually started this year programs is that we came to realize that we cannot do things alone. And as much as there are problems out there, you know, we youth, we face a lot of problems. However, we face problems that are mutual. And we need to understand that we don't want to individualize everything. It's best we come together and see what problems we can work on, what problems we can solve, and what problems we can look forward in the future to mitigate. So I feel this gathering not only strengthens or motivates the boy child to communicate or to talk to his fellow peers and to resolve issues that is at heart, but it also makes others intrigued towards such initiatives for them to start their own, and for there to be a support system in the society. Because not far away there was a gentleman. He was also part of the youth, but he was a bit, I do not know, let's say an entrepreneur, because he did not have much time on his watch. And it happened that this year gentleman committed Judas Iscariot, you know, suicide. That is such a detrimental thing. But yeah, these issues that we are facing in Omaruru, and we try to let this child or the children understand that that is not the way to go. There are better ways, and there are people that can help you in your issues. yeah, basically. So what I took back from there is we ought to solve problems together. That's why we are on the face of the earth amongst one another. Yes.
Introducing 061 Express, brought to you by Synergy in proud partnership with Windhoek Express. Here's your chance to make your voice heard to celebrate the businesses that make Windhoek exceptional. From your favorite coffee spot to the salon that always gets your style just right. It's time to shine a spotlight on the gems of our city. Over the next 8 weeks, it's your chance to vote for your favorites to recognize the best of the best. Nominations open on the 25th of April and close on the 5th of May. To nominate your favorite business, simply save this number 085 785 6231 and WhatsApp hashtag 061 Express or scan the QR code below and follow the on-screen instructions. By nominating your favorites, you're not only supporting local businesses, but you also stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 Namibian dollars in cash. The voting process will be the same as the nominations process, using the Synergy chatbot and the hashtag 061 Express. Voting opens on June 5th and closes on June 23rd. Make sure to cast your votes for the best of the best. The winners will be announced on June 28th. 061 Express, celebrating the heartbeat of Windhoek. Get ready to make your mark.
Next, we're in the capital, where Michael Kayunde chats to creative Khadijah Herungaa.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Brave Namibia. This is a platform where we get to tell people's stories in various sectors and industries, people that are doing well for themselves, and they basically just tell us about, who they are, what they do, and all of that jazz. Today, we are joined by artists, businesswomen, and all-around creative. Khadijah Herungaa, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm great. How are you?
Good, how are you? For people that do not know about you and the music that you make, please let's just start there. When did you fall in love with music? What kind of music do you make? And how is that going on for you?
Okay, well, I fell in love with music when I was around like 5. It's always been a thing that has kept me calm because I was a bit of a child that just like everywhere. So music was always like a comforter for me. I'm a piano music, but it's not only where I want to be, stagnant. I want to make sure that I also make R&B music and contemporary music. Actually, I just want to keep going, grow my creative side, I guess. Yeah.
So you fell in love with music at 5, started music at 5, but you only managed to put out your first body of work last year. Why did it take you so long?
Okay, well, to be honest, let's say self-doubt. I didn't think people would like relate to my music or listen to it or whatever. But right now, the way people have received my music, ever since the EP has been out, like you said, it's been a year. I've gotten so far like good feedback on it, and people still listen to it till now. So that's all that makes me happy. Yeah.
So you dropped your EP last year. How did that make you feel?
That made me feel
finally
great.
Putting out your EP.
Yeah, I'm finally putting out my work for people to hear. It was very exciting, but also nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie, because like I said, I don't know how people were going to receive it. But there were also like a few obstacles, like with the people that I've worked with and stuff like that. But overall, it ended up being pretty much of a success for me. Yeah.
So it is an amapiano, you know,
Jazz. Yes.
So for someone who is inspired by so many sounds, right? What made you decide my first offering is not going to be R&B, but I'm going to start with amapiano first? Because like you mentioned, you don't want to be stagnant there. You want to do other genres as well.
Right.
But what made you choose amapiano first for your first EP?
Okay, if I'm being very honest, I know it's gonna sound like a cliche or whatever, but I honestly feel like because it was what was in at the time, you know, or still is in right now, a lot of people, you can catch a lot of people's ear just by Loch drum on its own. Do you understand? So that's what I wanted. I wanted to grab people's attention first and then ease them into what kind of music I really do. You know, so, but then also I very much believe in the fact that one amapiano song a day can literally change your life.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So the EP is out. You are happy with how, you know, people have received it. You call it a success yourself.
Yeah.
Musically, what's next for you?
For me, I'm gonna start working on an album. I think it's about time that we have at least like 25 songs on there of just me singing. So what's next for me is definitely in the music aspect is probably an album. I've also started thinking of making like covers as well, because that also catches people's attention, like to see how you can transform somebody else's song into your own. Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
Okay, we can't wait for that. So, besides music, you are also an entrepreneur.
Yes, I
who
am.
recently opened their own hair studio, hair salon.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What is it called? Where is it found?
Okay.
What inspired you to venture into that space? You know, because you could have done any
Anything
other
else,
business,
yeah.
but you are into that space. Please.
Okay, so this is like my baby. It's called KNZ Beauty Parlor. It's in Francine Dongo Gardens, shop number 4, where the old Waltons used to be. So how do I put this? I like feeling beautiful, and you know, like it's like a confidence booster. And having the salon, I want other people to come over there and have a safe space to also feel beautiful and confident. Like, I pretty much started it because as a kid, I've always like run around in my mom's makeup and like always combed my hair. It doesn't even matter. I just did my hair. I would take it out just to comb it, you know? So I was very intrigued by the fact that you can go somewhere and someone can literally transform you head to toe. So I wanted that experience for whoever walks into my salon. It's very beautiful, it's very pink, it's giving feminine energy, and yeah, so you guys should check it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And so on top of that, also, you know, you do music, you now run a business.
Ish.
On top of that,
Powerhouse.
something that is always constant is you are also a parent. How do you balance, you know, your love for making sure that you express your creative passions and skills and gifts, and also run a business, but also make sure that, you know, you are a present mother?
I think for me, what has very much helped is I've involved her in every single journey. You know, like my music, she's been involved since she was, like my first song, my second song, You, I wrote about her, right? So she's always been, you know, number one, front and center for why I do what I do. I want her to look back and be like, yo, my mom did a lot, and she was still very loving, and she was still come from work every day or come from the studio and still make me food and still put me to bed, you know. So I don't know, I feel like the balance, it's quite a lot, but I'm religious, so I pray. I always tell myself God gives parents grace. to do anything, because you can be so tired but still not forget to be a good parent. So I really try to involve her in everything that I'm doing with the salon. She's also part of that, so she's always also there, doing her little thing. I just always remember or remind myself that I'm doing it for her. So it shouldn't be that hard.
Wow, nicely put. So lastly, what advice do you have for, young women like yourself who sort of maybe also have a similar life story, and they are probably scared to add something on top of their 9 to 5, but you are able to balance these things, what advice do you have for young mothers that have jobs and are struggling to take that leap of faith to start a business because they feel maybe they won't have the time to do it all together at the same time?
I'd say you'd never know until you try it out. Do you get? I feel like also one thing that has helped me was find, even if it's just that one person, find that one person that solely believes in what you can do and run with it, For me, that person is my mom. She's always believed in me and my dream and whatever. So I've literally clung on to her until the last breath. So also, don't be too hard on yourself about the whole, you want to start a business, but you can't do such and such because you have so much on your plate. I feel like balance it out. If you really want it, you can get it. And don't doubt yourself. Look at me, I used to doubt myself, and now people are listening to my music and getting their hair done in my salon. So you got it, honestly.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia, when we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians sharing their stories. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and oneup2.com, and broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
Thank you for tuning in today. If you know of someone you feel should feature on our show, please contact us at brave@synergy.com.na.